Bias.
What's going on, guys? Chris back here again. So basically today, we just want to, me and Selena here, this is my business associate, I'd call now. We're just basically going to be talking to you guys about nutrition, fitness plans that we have basically in the works. I have fitness programs that I'm working on right now, custom fitness plans for people. And Selena over here, she'll give you her qualifications, but she's basically a registered nutritionist, dietitian. And she has a master's in nutrition, I believe, if that's correct.
That's right, yeah.
So we're just gonna be teaming up, guys, and basically trying to give you guys the best kind of fitness plans and also, you know, nutrition plans that we can, because a lot of times, you know, especially in Ireland, the UK, you know, you see people and mainly their qualifications are, you know, things like, you know, the fact that they're an influencer or stuff like that. But I really want to bring quality to these programs, guys. I don't want to just be doing like run-of-the-mill programs, because, you know, in all honesty, like competing with a lot of the celebrities and things like that, like in the US and stuff, it's very very tough. But if you actually have qualifications, I think that it's going to be a better route to go. You know, it's a better route to go, definitely, if you have qualifications rather than just being insta famous. You know, and I think that this is what we're going to try and bring across. Like, quality is what I'm going to really try and be bringing across to people in the next couple months, guys, because I know it's kind of a terrible time to be bringing out maybe fitness plans, nutrition plans, because people are already starting to get cut. But I think if you know, follow these, it'll kind of help you achieve a good physique and healthy way of living. So we'll just start off real quick, like what's like your qualifications, you know what I mean? Because my background, guys, is like personal training, and I've trained a few people in the past before, and I obviously have a personal training certificate. So I'm really trying to like give people good fitness plans, like sustainable fitness plans as well, that people can kind of follow every single day, and, you know, not be too like stressful. But yeah, I'll just hand you guys over to Selena, and go follow her, guys. I'll have all her information in the description down below, basically explaining the nutrition plans that we have set up and that we're going to set up in the future. So yeah, I'll just hand you over to Selena, and she can just tell your qualifications for a second. It's like, what are your qualifications? You're like graduated.
Yeah, so I just graduated a couple of months ago with my master's in human nutrition. And then just to like top that off, I just got my registration. I didn't have to get that, but I just got the registration. So I'm actually just a registered associate nutritionist, which is like, it's basically like an experienced version of a like a registered nutritionist. So it's just because I'm just after graduating, I've lots of experience to get and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sweet, yeah, awesome. And like, you have in the degree, you have worked with people obviously in the past, like, you know, you have a lot of knowledge in that area. You know, you've worked with different people in college and stuff like that. Or how was the training, you know?
I didn't actually receive any training or work experience or nothing, so I'm very, very inexperienced, emphasis on that. So yeah, it's just kind of, I just on the academic side of nutrition, I don't have any experience. So I'm just learning, I'm just trying to, I love doing my own research on like anything, like even just a food. If I see a food, I'm just see it, I'll be interested in what's like the nutrition profile of it. So I'll just do some research on it, and then just, I'm kind of self-educating myself too, because you don't learn anything in college, and then, or you don't learn everything in college, sorry. And then also the fact that when you do leave college, I think you do tend to forget a lot of stuff that you learned as well. So that's what I'm trying to keep up, but I'm also trying to learn new stuff at the same time.
Yeah. And you're trying to get work in the hospital or like a medical company, something like that, you said?
Yeah, that's what I'll be looking for in future. Yeah, just at the minute it's kind of hard to get them types of jobs, but yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, like I feel like that especially like in Ireland, like nutrition, I heard before, nutrition and diet, you know, dietitians and stuff, there's like a big divide because a lot of people aren't registered, but like you said that you're registered.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was saying this to you earlier, Chris, but a lot of people say they're nutritionists just because they've done some sort of degree with nutrition in the title, but that doesn't make you a registered nutritionist. I knew when I finished my undergrad, although the course was food science and nutrition, I wasn't a nutritionist. Like, I got no title out of that. So I knew that if I done a master's or done another qualification that I would actually get the registration and get the title nutritionist, which I now have. But and then in terms of the dietitians, then I don't think there's many people call themselves dietitians. Like you go to college a lot longer if you're to become a dietitian, so it's really earned. Like you earn it. You can't just call yourself a dietitian. But I'm not a dietitian. I wouldn't call myself a dietitian. There's a big difference.
What's like the difference between the two? Because I know like I did a personal training course, guys. Obviously, I'm qualified in Europe to train people. It was like a year-long course, and we actually did a bit of nutrition in it, but obviously it's not as advanced as say what you're doing. But like, what would be like the difference? Because I think there's like upper levels to personal training as well, but I think it's more a lot of the experience in training that kind of helps you like takes you to the next level. Because a lot of people just have only been training a year maybe, and they don't really know like the ins and outs, the nuances. I've been training for like 10 years, you know, not to say like I'm an expert or anything, but it just kind of helps you, you know, when teaching people like yourself in the gym, like, you know, the correct way to exercise and whether or not you're getting like the benefit out of the exercise. So like what, you know, what's like the difference between like nutritionist and dietitian, or do you think it's like a major kind of difference?
Yeah, so the main difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian is that a nutritionist can't give like diet advice based on medical issues like health concerns. It's kind of nutritionists would kind of be more general health and lifestyle advice and all that, but you couldn't like give advice to someone that has like a chronic illness or anything like that. So I think that's the main difference. And then they tend to work in hospitals more.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty much the whole of YouTube, is just giving random nutrition advice. If people have diabetes, it's like, oh, go vegan. Or like if someone is like, you know, overweight, they're saying, oh, you know, eat this kind of diet, like, and it kind of helps people lose weight. But we're being deadly honest with you guys, like that. People, you know, don't really like, you know, they're just bullshitting basically on all these videos and stuff like that. And like, especially on Instagram, guys, you see all these like, you know, fitness plans and nutrition and stuff, and it's really not backed by like either, well, you know, science. A lot of it is you know, correlation studies, or like, you know, we'll say like a lot of the stuff that people, you know, get into is more just like hearsay. It's not really like, you know, backed by any kind of, you know, actual science. So do you think it's like kind of like that there's a lot that people like aren't really very familiar with nutrition nowadays, like that it's kind of like a really nuanced kind of topic, like it's very hard to like, you know, talk to people about, because maybe they're very fixated. Like I tried a bunch of different diets. I did vegan, I was vegetarian, you know, I had like, you know, just, you know, crazy diets. And then now I'm trying like a carnivore diet, just like all meat and, you know, some fruit, maybe a little bit here and there. But you think it's like very like, you know, tough nowadays to talk to people even about diet and stuff?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing like in this day and age would be like not offending someone or that kind of thing. But
like the
yeah,
political beliefs about their like diet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then people are kind of easily upset if you can say like the wrong thing to them or give them advice that they're maybe didn't grow up with, or and nutrition advice, things they're not used to and familiar with. So yeah.
Yeah, like because even just recently, you know, I switch up my diet all the time. Like if I'm like trying to gain weight or lose weight, or trying to maybe, you know, change body composition. And I have told people in the past like that, you know, try different diets, what kind of works for you. You know, if you feel good on this diet, maybe, you know, it's not as, you know, maybe it's not on paper, like, you know, maybe your, you know, blood work might say, oh, this is like completely crazy or whatever. But I mean, not too extreme. Obviously, if your cholesterol is like extremely high, you know, I'd be concerned about those kind of things. But I'm gonna get my blood work done on this diet. I've been kind of just eating. I want to get your take on this. I've been eating like, I know we're going off topic here, guys. We're just talking about nutrition plans, but I've been kind of eating more like meat heavy diet now, and like I feel a lot better. Maybe like there's more calories in it. That could be another thing than maybe I did when I was like vegan or stuff like that, like more plants. Like what would your take be on like different diets? Like, you know, have you had any experience with like different diets, or people talking about different diets in your course or master's degree?
I wouldn't be too familiar with the different types of diets and what all benefits are with them, and you know, that kind of way. But just with the carnivore diet, I was interested to see what you thought of it. And with them diets too, it's nice to see how other people, you know, get on them, and what their benefits are and how they find the diets. Yeah.
For those who like are kind of confused, like what exactly does like nutritionists, like what's your degree, what's your master's degree on? You know, what would like be specific? Because maybe some people are saying, oh, well, if it's not a dietitian, if it's not this, what exactly does that focus on, you know?
What my master degree
Yeah.
focused on? Yeah, just human, it's really just human nutrition. We had a big subject then, or a big module on diet and disease, but that still doesn't really qualify us to talk about or give diet related advice. Just human.
I think you're being too honest. You probably are a lot more qualified than like 90% of people, you know. Especially me. I'm just kind of like a bro science, like throw some shit, you know, oh, if it works, you know, if I feel good, but you know, in all reality, it's probably, you definitely know a lot more, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Chris, I forget your question. What did you say there? Sorry.
Just like what you know, what was like your master's degree on? Like what, you know, what do you what's like you know, your main focus on in the master's? Like what was it?
Yeah, so it was just anything like human, a bit of health, and then I know we done a bit on like palliative care, and it was quite broad, to be honest. It's quite broad looking back. That's why I said I like doing my own research and learning my own things, because and also why I started my Instagram back in like last February was because there were so many things that I was interested in, nutrition topics that I was interested in, but we weren't discussing in the masters. So that's when I started taking matters into my own hand and doing my own research. So yeah, it's kind of just general topics. A lot of it was actually kind of based around diseases, which is quite interesting now.
Yeah, that's fast. That's like, because a lot of people, like maybe they're overweight, diabetic, you know, they want to know like certain diets that kind of, you experienced that?
Just academically, like I wouldn't have any real work experience. Yeah.
What do you what, you know, what do you think, like, is it like, say if someone has like came to you with like, you know, in our fitness plan, if someone said to you, hey, like I just want to lose, you know, some weight, you know, what would we kind of be looking at? I know, like I would say first of all, you know, the calories and things like that, but maybe if they said they do a lot of exercise, you know, what would you kind of try and do, you know?
Yeah, so we definitely break down everything they're eating, you know, what their habits are in terms of, like look at the nutrients, like what's their saturated fat in particular, what's their saturated fat intake like, what else am I talking about, like junk food, like sweets, crisps, but that stuff, like taking too much of that, like that's all right in moderation.
Yeah.
What else we're looking at?
Trying to have a balanced diet.
Yeah, balance, yeah. And then maybe a bit too carb heavy, but some people can eat loads of carbs and it's fine, but there's a good bit of genetics involved in like weight management as well. Yeah,
I know, it's crazy. Like even like I was training for like 10 years there, and like I genuinely have only like experimented with like low carbs now, and I feel so much better, you know, because I used to always eat a ton of rice. Like every meal I'd have loads and loads of rice, but then I kind of felt like maybe the cumulative effect of like the, you know, just the carbs every single day is just, you know, it's making me like slow, you know, so to speak. But definitely if trying to cut weight, I feel like, you know, lowering the carbs just a little bit. You know, I've only done that recently though, and I just feel a lot better already. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
it's not.
And then you probably have less like brain fog and mental fatigue when you're not eating as many carbs.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like this is why I kind of started like doing the carnivore, or well, I say it's like that, but it's more like just like meat heavy with like a little bit of fruit and stuff like that. Because like I felt like almost like run down, like even if I'd exercise and then I'd feel so amazing, and then I'd go and have like chocolate milk or something with like tons of sugar in it, you know, even like fructose, like a ton, like a big smoothie. It almost felt like I was just so like sluggish after, because it's, you know, maybe slowing you down, so to speak. But definitely if you're doing a ton of exercise, it probably helps a lot to have the carbs. But
yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's just like and what do you think about like if someone came to you and say they're feeling tired, you know, like lacking like nutrients, like what would you, I would kind of recommend maybe say up the exercise, maybe lower the calories a little bit, because I even feel like even though you exercise more, you can kind of lower the calories a little bit to kind of make up for the energy expenditure.
Good question. I actually like that you brought that up, because I was actually just I just got a book there last week in the post, and it's the Food Mood Connection. I don't know the author. I have the book here.
Yeah, but, show it to us, Sarah. Is it what?
Yeah,
What is it? Yeah.
I don't know if you know that book there, Chris. It's the Food Mood Connection.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I've never even heard of it. I just was looking up some good books there on the internet during the week just for good new recommendations. And then because I had COVID back in like February, it was actually February, and I think the fatigue from it has been like crazy because I've been like tired ever since. I don't know if you've had COVID, have you?
Yeah, when I got, I'm actually gonna have to cancel that out, because if you say COVID on YouTube, it just like cancels your videos. It's just bullshit. But I got COVID. No, it's grand. It's all good. Actually, I think it's okay now. I think back in the day it was shit, but when I got COVID, like, it was crazy. Like, I got it once back like last year. And I never tested positive the whole 2-3 years it was out, which is crazy. But I got it, and because I never took the test, like I was just isolated and stuff like that, which is stupid because I was just working. I was actually working in a health food shop in Galway. So, I have actually a certificate in health food nutrition as well. So that's also to add that. I forgot to put that in as well, guys, because I had to take a test while I was working in a health food shop in Galway, and it was because I was working there for like a year, and I did a test, passed it, so I was pretty sick. But when I got COVID first time, nothing happened because I was working out. It was crazy. I felt amazing. Second time I got it, I'm vaccinated, obviously. I got 3 vaccines, and then the second time I got it, it was kind of not that bad. It was maybe I had a headache for 2 days, but I felt kind of fatigued. And then I got it recently, maybe like before Christmas. And like, I swear to God, like I was so like, I was sick for like 3 days. Like I lost my taste for like a week. And I was like, whoa, will I ever get my taste? Because I was eating Oreos. And I was like, just all of a sudden, just couldn't taste anything. It was the oddest thing. It's like I've never experienced anything like it. It felt like it was like really weird, And then I was sick for like a long time. But then I noticed, like, if I didn't keep exercising, like, you have to exercise after, because my cardio, even though like I'm quite fit, like I would do like sprints all the time and like try and keep my fitness up, like the whole your cardio just goes terrible. And then, like, when I went back to it, I couldn't even run barely. So I could imagine people that are like, unhealthy, unfit, like, or older, it's terrible. I couldn't imagine. People must have died like crazy. It's just crazy. The cardio fatigue. My friend, like, he's a really fit guy. He's even a lot lighter than me. He doesn't really work out. He just does a lot of sprinting, and his cardio was not even as good as mine after. And like, he couldn't even barely run. And I think it's a genetic thing as well. Maybe it's like crazy, But what were you saying? You said I went off on a big tangent there. But what did you say?
So there's a whole chapter in that book about insomnia and fatigue and all that stuff. And I just made a summary. I just had to read it. Like, I was so interested in it. So there's definitely a few key nutrients you'd want to, have in your diet. And then there's another thing about like meal plans. I never thought that you could like I never thought about it, that making like meal plans towards like anti-fatigue, like high energy, but like not anti-fatigue. So just like some of the nutrients that you'd want to eat a lot of if you're trying to fight fatigue would be like things like omega-3 and vitamin D and all that.
That's amazing. And did you feel, because in that book it's like mood, did you feel like almost like not depressed after COVID, but maybe because of your cardio you felt like sad, like for no reason? Because I felt like that. I felt like, why can't I exercise like I used to be? Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm, you feel like friggin', a god when you're exercising, and then all of a sudden you get this like disease that, it's not really that big of, for big deal if you're young, healthy, maybe. And like, it just runs you down for no reason. So it is quite serious. You feel like almost depressed, like a little bit, but not like serious depression, but like a lot of people felt like, moods, their mood was low, we'll say, after it. I don't know if you ever experienced that, but
no, I can't say that I experienced that, but I understand why people would feel like that, because if you're not exercising, you're going to have less energy, and then you're going to not feel as good. Like, it's going to definitely impact your mood.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, COVID was nuts. Like, I definitely think that impacts a lot of people. Did you get it recently? Are you like completely over it now, do you think, or are you like?
Actually, I keep getting the time frame wrong. It was actually Christmas. I had it for Christmas Day. So yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, it was no good.
But that's pretty cool. Like, I feel like definitely those books and stuff. Is that a doctor that wrote that, like an MD or whatever?
What's her name? God, I think it is. Yeah, Dr. Uma Naidoo. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, like a lot of those books, like I got my carnivore diet idea off this like Dr. Sean Baker. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, And I don't really watch Joe Rogan at all, but I saw the podcast and I was like, oh, this is quite interesting. Like, and I thought it was crazy like a few years ago, but then I tried it and I do feel good. Like I'm not eating like, let's say, the healthiest foods, but I think I'm just eating lower calories, let's say, and then maybe my fruit as well intake has gone up a little bit, so that's probably why I feel better.
So what does breakfast look like for you then?
Listen, I have crazy, like I have like legit, either I have, because I used to have like a protein shake, but now I have protein shake, or else I just have like this is gonna sound wild, like either like some mince or like pep or what's it called, salami. So like just like a little bit of that, and then I feel like there's like loads of salt and stuff in it that makes me feel really good, high energy. And then I just go to the gym, I come home and I have either some more mince. It's my diet is so bland, but for some reason I feel like I don't crave anything. Like whenever I was eating loads of carbs, I would like crave ice cream like every night. I would have ice cream and it's just crazy, like trying to like gain weight and stuff, but it wasn't healthy. I'd had inflammation, just feel so sore. Now it's like nothing, you know, it's almost like a very low inflammation diet, which I find is good, because if you're working out a lot, maybe the stress you're already putting on your body, it's like you don't want even more inflammation on top of that with all the carbs and stuff. But you know, I don't know what you make of that, like having salami for breakfast. That's not a typical diet.
It wouldn't entice me, but it was just interesting what you said there, that you don't crave things now, like carb heavy stuff. And that's actually a thing, Chris. That's what they say in like to do with the gut, that it's the more carbs you eat, the more you'll crave. So that's to do with the type of gut bacteria you have, like your microflora, and they'll actually make you crave more carbohydrates and sugar and sweets and stuff. So yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, I literally like would leave the gym and I just, you know, I wouldn't get craving anything to that point, because obviously at the beginning of the day, you're kind of like, you know, your body is kind of starting off fresh again, whatever, maybe you're intermittent fasting. And then I would like have like a, you know, chocolate milk, and immediately like the whole day after that, you'd feel like bloated and like, oh, you know, I want like more and more sweets. And it's like, you almost feel like you don't even want to follow this kind of diet. It's just, I found it very hard to follow the diet. And obviously, like one of the, you know, big things you know like that is diet adherence is probably one of the most important things. Like you can have a diet, but if you're not adhering to it, if you're like going off like eating loads of junk food and stuff all the time, it's very you know, you're not gonna be losing weight like that, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Have you had much experience with like or like, you know, studying different you know, health problems in Ireland? Like what are like main health problems? Because I saw one, it's like we're like the second most obese country in Europe now. Like I think number one is Malta, I believe.
Malta?
Yeah, but that's crazy because they're like a really hot country. I feel like it's very hard to eat in hot countries, but I think it's something to do with like their it's like a genetic thing they have or something going on there. But in Ireland, maybe it's like drinking. What do you make of like alcohol on people's diets? Do you think that alcohol affects people's diets like a lot, or what, you know, from what you studied?
I wouldn't know too much about alcohol, but it impacts your sleep too. That's a big factor in relation to, you know, insomnia and sleep issues. And then just, you know, it
Like
gives you liver
apnea.
issues long term.
That's like really,
it's just the main thing with alcohol is I think it's calorie dense. It's like 9 calories per gram or per mil or whatever it is. I'm not sure.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And then so it's 10 calories. It's going to mess up your liver long term, you know, depending on how much you drink. And then it's related to a lot of sleep issues.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely. I think it like I was like reading before, it like interrupts your sleep, so like you actually probably get to sleep faster. Like that's why a lot of people have the night cap, you know, they like get to sleep faster. But your like REM sleep, that very important sleep, it's like you know, terrible. And that's one thing I'll be adding to the fitness plans, guys, is the sleep. You know, to me, sleep is the most important thing you can ever have. You know, you can do all this training and diet and everything, but if you don't sleep, you know, you're 7, 8 hours a day, you know, maybe sometimes 9, like myself, lazy dude, waking up late or whatever. But I feel a lot better. Like, you know, if you don't do those kind of things, guys, you'll have a terrible, like, you know, terrible day. I don't know if you like what's kind of like your sleep schedule. Do you have any like sleep hygiene kind of things, like blackout curtains and stuff, or? Or
I
how
do
do
have
you?
blackout curtains and they're amazing. Like, but I go through so many like cycles with sleep. Like at the minute I'm in a bad sleeping phase, and then other times I'm sleeping great and I sleep the full 8 hours. But
Yeah.
I don't know, sleep is such a weird one because just recently I've started waking up like at right specifically 10 past 8 in the morning, and that's too early for me, especially if I'm going to bed at like 1 or 2. So I'm not getting enough
Yeah.
sleep, and then you just feel like you just don't feel good the whole day. And
I
and
know.
I automatically want my day to like restart as soon as I have to wake up. Like, oh, it's just
It's like me, like I used to like during winter, I feel like because in Ireland it gets so dark so early, it gets dark at like 4 o'clock. I would go to bed at legit like 10 o'clock every single night for like the whole winter. And I had such a great sleep schedule. Now because I have so much like energy every single day, like it's so sunny, I'm always outside, well, apart from when I'm doing the YouTube stuff, but like I would go to bed like 1 or 2 because I'm so amped up from the day and wake up like 7, 8 o'clock. And then it's like your whole, you feel kind of like, although you wake up early, so you don't feel blue. Like I never wake up late, but if I wake up early, but you still don't have that energy. It doesn't carry on. I always have to take a nap now, a little, sometimes at 6 o'clock or whatever after doing YouTube and stuff. Like
yeah.
it's crazy, but the sleep schedule during the winter is definitely better than the summer. I don't know. Maybe it's like the rain outside in the window, something that helps you sleep. Like, but yeah. And just in regards, like, we'll talk about like a news article. I saw like in the news that they said they're planning on banning value deals. So like, you can buy like a drink, crisps and a sandwich for like $4.50 or whatever in deals. I'm kind of just critical. I'm wondering like what you think, of that kind of plan. Have you read any like research? Does it show like or anything, or is that just like absolute nonsense for the government?
Yeah, I think this was implemented in sorry, England, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think so. Yeah.
yeah. Boris Johnson, he's always trying to like he's always trying to tackle obesity. So this is probably just something else he's come up with. Is this in relation to childhood obesity, or is it
I
just
think it was. I think
obesity?
it was like child because they said like we had the number. I can't remember child. I think because like what is it like from the age like 5 to like 16 or something that they had like the most overweight kids,
Yeah.
in Europe or something like that. And I'm not laughing at that, guys. I'm laughing at because obviously like we say obesity it's a real serious matter because I think when you're a kid, like if you're not like used to those habits and things like that, if you're not growing up, maybe playing sports, it's very hard to like kick those habits into your later years. What do you think?
Obesity is actually a form of malnutrition because like you're eating too much of the one form of nutrient, like too much maybe carbs or fat. You're not getting enough protein,
I
fiber.
love that. I love that. I was just about to say this, like whenever I just trigger things in me, but I was like listening to a podcast recently about that doctor, and he explained that this is like the most amazing way I've ever heard it about nutrition. But he said basically that say like you're hungry, like you're overweight and you're hungry or whatever, right? And your body is telling you, I want nutrients. Maybe I want some protein. Maybe I want some magnesium. Maybe I want some salt. Something that's going to help you, maybe give you energy. But you just keep giving your body Twinkies, Doritos, like Oreos, like just like random stuff that you buy, like in Tesco or Iceland or whatever. You're giving your body energy, but you're actually not giving it nutrients. So you're gonna be gaining weight and you're gonna be getting unhealthy, but you're actually never gonna be getting the nutrients your body wants. And I actually never thought about it like that. I never thought about nutrition that way until like a couple months ago. That's when I switched to carnivore diet because in the red meat that I eat, although it may be high in some things like cholesterol, maybe the exercise negates that a little bit. But I think that definitely like the nutrients you get from the food, like the B12, the protein, all this, like the stuff that's really easily absorbed is better than having pasta for every meal, let's say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a form of malnutrition. You're not eating
I
the
love
right
that.
foods in the right quantities either. And then another thing about obesity is that the body's really inflamed too. Like it's I've heard it being described as an inflammatory disease, like it's an inflammatory disorder. Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. Like, because when you said malnutrition, I was like, that's so like amazing. I love because a lot of people think, oh, that guy's overweight. They don't skip any meals. They make a joke about it, like, oh, this guy is, because I've obviously gained weight, like and lost weight. I've probably lost like 100 pounds, gained and lost in my whole lifetime. Switching between trying to gain and lose. But I noticed like the heavier I get, like although, you know, I'm getting heavier, maybe stronger in the gym, you know, definitely not as fit, but you feel like you're not getting the right nutrients. You don't feel as good. You know, it's like inflammation, like you said. It's a great way to put it. You know, I really do like that. But yeah, like and I think they're gonna bring. I think they've actually passed that today. The bringing in of the. I'm not 100% sure the bringing in of the value deals, and we'll see. I don't really think putting taxes on that stuff. I think putting taxes on maybe stuff like unhealthy food like McDonald's and having like the, you know, maybe the salads and the meat. They should, you know, stuff like that, like Whole Foods. They should lower the price on those. Maybe bring in subsidiaries for them, because banning like, you know, egg mayonnaise sandwiches. I don't really understand how that's gonna stop.
Yeah. And then in relation to that, do you think it's children that's mainly picking up them meal deals? Like I think it's more like maybe college students. I don't think it's
100%. I mean, no, yeah, like, I mean, you never see like kid, like, because that's like right as you come in the door, like next to, like, you know, like it's like when you come into Tesco, it's like right on the right hand side or whatever, and it's like all I see picking those up are like builders and like people that are like working like heavy jobs, let's say, like, you know, builders, like work, like, you know, working outside and stuff. I never see like anyone like, you know, the kids even know what a meal deal is, you know. I don't really, you know, it's just like really ridiculous. But I don't know how long we were recording for there, but this is a good podcast. What else do you think is relevant to maybe our nutrition plans that we want to give out and fitness plans? I definitely think that, you know, the fitness plans will be good, guys. They're going to be custom made, tailor made to people. So I'm going to send you guys like, I think it's like 50 questions, and you guys can just write out exactly, you know, your height, weight, you know, your activity level, what you guys want to do with, you know, your body composition, etc. And Selena, then on the other side, the back end, she's going to be writing like kind of the nutrition plans, like kind of, you know, helping me write those. I'm going to like maybe talk to her, send her a couple every, you know, week or month, and then, you know, see what happens. So really appreciate Selena hopping on board with this project. It should be amazing, and we'll continue to grow. So that's pretty much it, guys, for now. We'll probably do another one maybe in a few months, maybe, or in like a month or something. Yeah, definitely. It's great. I know you love talking about this topic. If you have anything else to say, like, you can just say, like, promote anything you want or whatever, like, because I'm sure all 3 people watching this will be interested to see. But yeah, hopefully we'll get more people. But I
think because I would be thinking that meal plans are just, you know, either for weight loss or people going to the gym. But no, you can even, I'm thinking about making myself a meal plan, or at least a food checklist of like foods to fight fatigue. So I just made this wee list today, so I'll be printing that out and trying to tick it off every day this week and eat as many foods on that list.
Per week. But you probably, you know, subliminally, maybe you followed in the past before food plans, but maybe you don't, you know, maybe you didn't write them down. You probably have like had, you know, followed your own kind of like you know, your own ones that you kind of know that help